When environmental audit is mentioned, most people would have a misconception that environmental audit is a fault-finding exercise and a waste of time. However, if done properly, it brings many benefits. In fact, it is actually a fact-finding work. Environmental audit in the EQA 1974 is defined as a periodic, systematic, documented, and objective evaluation in determining the compliance status of environmental regulatory requirements, the environmental management system, and the overall environmental risk of the premises. In short, the Act requires three types of environmental audit to be done notably. They are, first, compliance audit, second is environmental management system audit, and third, the risk audit. And now we will look into compliance audit and its role in addressing the issue of water contamination. Compliance audit is mainly to check on compliance with the legal corporate requirements. It is the independent assessment of whether a given subject matter is in compliance with the applicable authorities. When dealing with environmental issues, compliance audit is to ensure that the which uses water to operate its business will have to follow the protocol that is set up by the Act. Compliance audit is also the most common type of audit, consisting of checks against environmental legislation and company policy. Auditors that work on compliance audit will ensure that the way companies handle the waste products of their companies follow the environmental and company policy. Through this, companies will not eliminate their waste in ways that may give bad effect to the environment. Since it is a law requirement for environmental audit to be conducted within companies, compliance audit will check whether these companies have complied with the law. If no, they are to be reported to the Department of Environment for action to be taken against them. We will now move to environmental management system audit. For this type of audit, we will show you a video on ISO 14001 on environmental management system. We will now move on to risk audit. There are 4 stages to risk audit, which are identification, assessment, review, and also report. Management should be able to identify which activities in their operation will contaminate the waters around them. After the risks are identified, organizations need to assess the risk using 2 variables, which are the likelihood of the risk being realized and the impact if the risk is not realized or ignored. The assessment strategy is used in many ways. Before the situation gets worse, management should already come out with corrective measures to ensure that their operation does not endanger lives. Review stage is where auditor analyzes the controls that the organization has in the event of the risk materializing. For example, do they give compensation to the people affected? Review can represent substantial tasks as the response to each assessed risk is part of the review and there may be many risks to be considered. Lastly, report. A report on the review is produced and submitted to the principal, which in most cases is the board of the organization that commissioned the audit. Management will want to know about the extent of the risk, quality of the assessment, and effectiveness of the control that is currently taking place. Any ineffective controls will be brought to the attention of the management. With these audits being used by organizations and also third parties, the issue of water contaminations can be reduced in the future.
created using Powtoon.